This is part 6 of vector review. On the back of your notes, which are titled Unit 2, Kinematics in 1D, Scalars versus Vectors, these are the different methods of resolving vectors depending on the direction of the vectors. So you can use Pythagorean theorem if you end up with a resultant that makes a triangle. And then for letter D, you've got 3 vectors, and so you actually need to just determine after drawing them that you have a rectangle and figure out the resultant side, which is in red. And over here you have the notes on counterclockwise from east and how in each case we have to consider and draw our east line and then measure. So down here we have examples of using Pythagorean theorem, and in number 3 you can see if they're going in opposite directions you need to subtract. So in each case you're drawing a vector diagram and then you're considering which is the best method for resolving or solving the problem. So if you have a triangle, you're going to use Pythagorean theorem. If you have vectors that are going in opposite directions, such as number 3, we're subtracting. And then if you have vectors, which is not noted here, but if you have vectors that are going in the same direction, that would mean added. You would add the 2 vectors. Now, situation number 5, we haven't covered completely, but it's not going to be on the test. I just want you to see it may be a bonus question. So we have 3 different vectors and our resultant ends up being shown by R there. And how would you solve that? Well, the way that you would want to solve that would be to draw a bigger triangle so that we could use a combination of Pythagorean theorem as well as trig functions to solve. So here's the notes. You already have them. And let me also show you the measuring angles worksheet where we went over how to measure the various angles. It's called Measuring Angles, Part 2. The next video will discuss the SOHCAHTOA method of resolving vectors and also just a summation.